Good morning, and welcome to another American Diversity Month program. My name is Dominique Carr, and I am the team lead with the Civil Rights Staff for Food Safety and Inspection Service. I have the honor to welcome you today to the Minority Contributions in Agriculture program. Today, we will hear from students, employees, and recipients of Hispanic Serving Institutions, 1890s program, and also COPAL. We are also delighted to have the CEO of Fresh Communities Holdings Corporation to discuss from concept to collection solutions for food desert community micro-manufacturing as our guest speaker.
Hello from Washington, D.C. My name is Dora Flores. I work for USDA Agriculture Marketing Service. I am a marketing specialist for dairy program. I also hold a collateral duty as the AMS Hispanic Employment Program Manager. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Felix Roman Velasquez. Dr. Roman is a professor of analytical and environmental chemistry from the University of Puerto Rico, Mayagüez. Dr. Roman has received his PhD in analytical chemistry from the University of Nebraska. Dr. Roman also has led and collected many projects funded by the USDA Hispanic Serving Institutions Grant Program. Here is a sample of his projects, and I will mention some because he has many. First, enhancement of soft skills in undergraduate and graduate students for food, agriculture, and related science, but their involvement in exploration learning activities. Second, green recycled and biocompatible materials for wastewater reuse for crop irrigation. Fostering exploration learning to establish a pipeline from K-12 to graduate programs into collaboration between STEM disciplines, agricultural, environmental, and nanoscale science and engineering. Finally, but not the last, research experiences to foster experimental learning and to enhance education in food, soils, and environmental sciences. Also, we want to share a little bit of his fun life. Dr. Roman is married to Glorinel, and they have two wonderful daughters, both who study chemistry. Gloriceli is working her PhD in the University of Nebraska, and Naomi in the University of Puerto Rico, Mayagüez. Dr. Roman loves to spend his free time on the beach on the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. Also enjoys off-road explorations using his four-wheel drive vehicle, and ends his days by relaxing on his vegetable garden. Let's welcome Dr. Felix Roman Velasquez.
The USDA HSI program has impacted my career significantly. When I arrived at the University of Puerto Rico, Mayagüez in 1996, I had no access to scientific instrumentation. That same year, Dr. Irma Lawrence visited our campus, and she lectured about the opportunities within the USDA HSI program, including the availability of funds for scientific instrumentation. I partnered with Dr. Nancy Cavallaro, which at that time was a faculty member at the Agriculture Department, and we landed a grant to purchase scientific instrumentation, which built the foundation for the state-of-the-art facility that we have currently on our campus, which have impacted hundreds of undergraduate students and graduate students from arts and sciences, engineering, and agriculture departments. From the multiple funded projects from the USDA HSI program, the one with the most significant impact was the Center for Education and Training in Agriculture and Related Sciences, better known as CETRS. This was a multi-million-dollar project that involved 5 participating institutions, 1 in the mainland and 4 in Puerto Rico. These were the University of Puerto Rico at Mayagüez, the lead institution, the University of Puerto Rico at Aguadilla, the University of Puerto Rico at Humacao, the Inter-American University of Puerto Rico at San Germán, and the University of El Paso, Texas. The project provided experiential learning and outreach activities and internships for 70 students, of which were 5 PhD students, 7 master's students, and the rest were undergraduate students. It also involved outreach activities within the K3 and the K6 to K12 experiences. The CITUS project generated high impact research projects. Every year, Dr. Jorge Gardea, he was the PI from the University of Texas El Paso and editor of one of the most important journals of the world, which is the Environmental Science and Technology, came to visit the University of Puerto Rico and provided workshops on how to publish in peer-reviewed publications. That led to 35 publications in peer-reviewed journals, of which 3 were cover pages. We also had around 200 presentations in local and national meetings by our undergraduates and graduate students. And a recent survey showed that 50% of the project participants were so satisfied and the experiences were so important that they continue into their PhD programs. Right now, 7 finished their PhD, of which currently 5 are faculty members and 2 are working in other positions around the country. Of these faculty, 3 are here in Puerto Rico, at the University of Puerto Rico San Germán, University of Puerto Rico Ponce, and the Catholic University here in Puerto Rico. CITUS students also participate in summer internships. They traveled to the Agricultural Research Station in Beltsville, Maryland. As a matter of fact, we were the first students who participated of summer internship at Agricultural Research Station in Beltsville, which opened doors for other students even today. They traveled also to the Agricultural Research Station here in Puerto Rico and participated of summer internships. These were very valuable experiences that developed them into to continue into graduate programs. Some of them even published papers as co-authors within these institutions. The CITUS project also provided K-12 training for teachers. Every summer we invited 30 teachers from around the island to come to our campus to receive these workshops. As part of the workshop, we teach them how to use common household products to generate experiential learning experiment for their students in order to create interest in science and agriculture. We also teach them how to do soil tests, water quality tests, and they gain a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience that they took back to their classroom. We impacted over 150 teachers during the duration of the program. Finally, I would like to thank all the wonderful people who make this project possible. Starting with Dr. Irma Lawrence, Program Manager. Dora Flores from the USDA AMS. She works so hard trying to place our students within different locations within the USDA. Also Jenny Allen from the Agricultural Research Station in Beltsville, Maryland. She was also so diligent placing our students within their facility. My colleagues, starting from the University of Puerto Rico Mayagüez, the leading institution, Dr. Oscar Perales, Dr. Marco de Jesus, and Dr. Winston de la Torre, they were also very instrumental in this project. And my other friends from the Inter-American University of Puerto Rico, Dr. Angela Gonzalez, from the University of Texas El Paso, Dr. Jorge Gardea, from the University of Puerto Rico Aguadilla, Dr. Carlos Ruiz, unfortunately he passed away a few years ago, Dr. Rafael Estremera, Dr. Jesus Lee, and also my friend Rolando Tremont from the University of Puerto Rico, Macau. Thank for all these wonderful people who make this project possible. God bless all of you.
Dr. Edwin Lewis has served as branch chief in the FPAC Business Center Grants and Agreement Division since October 2019. Prior to joining FPAC, Dr. Lewis worked 10 years as a national program leader with USDA's National Institute of Food and Agriculture. In that capacity, he provided leadership for NIFA's 1890 land-grant university programs that support research, teaching, extension, and infrastructure development. He also worked 11 years with USDA's Foreign Agriculture Service, where he focused on international trade and agriculture development. Dr. Lewis has a Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Economics from Southern University and A&M College, also an 1890 land-grant university. He also earned his Master's in Agriculture and Applied Economics and a doctorate in Agriculture and Extension Education, both from Virginia Tech.
Hello, my name is Edwin Lewis. I'm a branch chief with USDA's FPAC Business Center in Washington, D.C. I appreciate the opportunity to discuss with you the longstanding partnership between USDA and the 1890 land-grant universities to benefit U.S. agriculture. The 1890 land grants consist of 19 historically Black universities. Many USDA agencies have partnered with these institutions to assist in carrying out their missions, both domestically and internationally. For the next few minutes, I want to highlight a few of USDA's programs that are designated specifically for the 1890s to support education, research, extension, and even infrastructure development. The 1890s play a unique role in recruiting and educating minority students in the areas of food, agriculture, natural resources, and human sciences. Since 1992, USDA has annually supported students attending 1890s through the USDA 1890 Scholars Program. The Scholars Program partners with USDA agencies to provide full scholarships, internships, and career opportunities, again, to students who are attending 1890s and studying in the areas of food, agriculture, natural resources, and related sciences. With the passing of the 2018 Farm Bill, USDA support for education to the 1890s was enhanced with the establishment of an additional 1890 scholarship program. This program supports recruiting, retaining, mentoring, and training undergraduate students. In FY20, USDA's National Institute of Food and Agriculture, NIFA, will award approximately $14 million to the 1890s through this new scholarship program. In addition to supporting education at the 1890s, USDA has a long history of supporting research and extension at the 1890s. For over 40 years, the 1890s have annually received formula-based funding through the Evans-Allen's Research Program and the 1890 Extension Program. Because of this important work and the impact of the 1890s efforts, funding for these programs have grown over the years. The Evans-Allen's Research Program receives an annual appropriation of approximately $50 million to support cutting-edge research. Research activities cut across various areas of food, agriculture, natural resources, but with a specific emphasis on the needs of limited resource farmers, families, and communities. The 1890 Extension Program receives an annual appropriation of over $45 million to respond to the changing need, again, of limited resource communities. Extension programs target issues related to food deserts, health disparities, limited resource farmers, financial and estate planning, even engaging minority youth and STEM-related programs. Because of the important linkage between education, research, and extension, USDA also partners with the 1890s to integrate these three important pillars of the land-grant mission. For example, in 1990, USDA established the 1890 Capacity Building Grants Program. This competitive grants program supports the integration of research, teaching, and extension and receives an annual appropriation of approximately $19 million. Funds have been used in very creative ways by the 1890s. For example, the establishment of undergraduate and graduate degree programs, supporting minority students in engaging in study abroad opportunities, engaging students, both undergrad and graduate, in research experiments, the support of supporting the purchase of important research equipment, and so much more. Also recognizing some of the unique strengths of the 1890s, the 2018 Farm Bill established support for 3 existing 1890 Centers of Excellence, which also supports the integration of research, teaching, and extension. In FY20, approximately $5 million will be awarded to support these 3 centers. The centers are the Center for Innovation and Sustainable Small Farms, Ranches, and Forest Land, the Center for Excellence in International Engagement and Development, and the Center to Educate and motivate for achievement. And finally, the 1890 infrastructure development. The 1890s provides students in faculty with state-of-the-art buildings, research laboratories, greenhouses, and extension facilities. This support from USDA comes through the USDA 1890 Facilities Program. This program, which is managed also by NIFA, support land acquisition, construction, and renovation. For example, Tennessee State University constructed a new ag biotech facility, which includes 12 state-of-the-art laboratories and working space for over 20 scientists. In closing, the 1890s have made significant impact on U.S. agriculture for over 130 years, and USDA has enjoyed a very productive partnership with these universities. Thank you.
Dr. Vivian Chen is the National Director of the Emergency Medical Services Program in the Forest Service, responsible for implementing an interagency national program that will enhance the federal government emergency medical response. For the Forest Service, it will formalize and standardize its ability to address emergency medical services for its employees. In a previous assignment, Dr. Chen served as Deputy Assistant Administrator in the Office of Public Health Science, Food Safety and Inspection Service, from 2010 to 2018. Dr. Chen was responsible for managing scientists and laboratory functions to ensure that the policies and testing of USDA regulated products met food safety standards. She was responsible for the OPHS reorganization and implementation of genome testing. From 2013 to 2015, she was detailed to serve as the Senior Advisor to the Assistant Secretary in Departmental Management, Office of the Secretary, to oversee the department's White House Initiative for Asian American and Pacific Islanders. She has over 35 years of experience in public health, grants management, resource and community development, evaluation, and research. Her career stretches from national health policy formulation at the U.S. Public Health Service to public health, health professions, quality assurance and licensing, research and evaluation, and community work. Prior to joining the USDA, Dr. Chen served as the Health Operations Director, Deputy Health Commissioner at the City of Milwaukee Health Department, where she managed all aspects of the city's health department, close to $1 billion budget and programs, including the establishment of a BSL-3 laboratory and automation of the food safety inspections and establishment of programs to reduce teen pregnancy and infant mortality. She was a member of the steering committee that planned and implemented the School of Public Health in the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee and transferred the health department to an academic health department.
Good afternoon, this is Vivian Chen. I want to thank everyone for inviting me to present at this really important period in time where we're talking about diversity and inclusion, and we're learning about each other's history. Let me begin by giving you a quote from William Faulkner, who said, "The past is not dead, it's not even past." Why is this important? Because history is important, and what we are going through is important. And to understand from the past and learning forward what we need to know is important. So Asians have been in the United States for a long time. The history of Asians in America is the history of dreams, hard work, prejudice, discrimination, persistence, and triumph. The Chinese also worked as small-time merchants, laundry gardeners, domestics, laundry workers, farmers, and starting in 1865, about 16,000 of them became railroad workers to work on the famous Transcontinental Railroad project. The project pitted the Union Pacific against the Central Pacific to see who finished the tracks first. And even though the Chinese workers performed virtually all of the hardest and most dangerous jobs and often died doing so, they were only paid 60% of what European immigrants workers were getting paid. The Chinese workers, of course, protested, but the Central Pacific was able to embargo their food and starve them to death, or until they said uncle and started working again. The Chinese became increasingly the target of racial attacks and disciplinary legislation because the labor was no longer needed, and whites began seeing them as an economic threat. So the reason I talk about the laborers and the work and the history of the APIs in this country starting back in the 1700s is because there's a myth about how well they've done. And finally, these results clearly show that contrary to the popular misconceptions and stereotypes about Asians Americans being the model minority, there can be very large and significant socioeconomic differences among Asian American ethnic groups. Several Asian groups are doing very well, and in fact, constantly outperform whites on many measures of socioeconomic achievement, while others do not possess the same attainment levels as whites. Ultimately, the process of achievement, socioeconomic success among Asian Americans is very complex. There are many examples of affluence and prosperity within the Asian American communities, but in many ways we still face the same types of racism, social inequality, institutional discrimination that other groups of color face. Therefore, the image of the entire Asian American community as the minority is a myth, and rather we tend to end up ending up being the silent minority. Anti-miscegenation laws also represent a large part of the anti-Asian movement that eventually led to the Page Law back in 1875, and that effectively eliminated Chinese women from immigrating to the U.S. and coupled with the Exclusion Act in 1882 and other restrictions, these laws made the situation worse because Asian men weren't allowed to marry, and if they did, there were great penalties for marrying outside the race. After World War II, however, gender dynamics of this interracial process flip-flopped because of the wars going on, and U.S. servicemen who fought were coming back after being stationed in Asia and different countries and bringing back their Asian war brides. And data show that from 1945 into 1970, thousands of young women from Asia, from China, Japan, South Korea, the Philippines, and Vietnam came to this country as war brides, and later bringing in their families as well. Most of, perhaps the most infamous episode of anti-Asian racism, aside from the Chinese Exclusion Act, was the unjustified imprisonment of Japanese Americans during World War II, done solely on the basis of their ethnic origin. So let's say about the last 20 years, we've seen a lot of Asian Americans become the fastest growing targets of hate crimes and violence, including the murder of Vincent Chin, who was being profiled as a Japanese auto worker. And it was believed that American jobs were being taken by Japanese, and yet Chin wasn't a Japanese, he was Chinese, and he wasn't an auto worker, but still killed. In early 2020, reports started circulating about a new infectious respiratory disease that seems to have originated in Wuhan, China. And similar in nature to other SARS syndromes, this strand eventually became what we now know as COVID or coronavirus. Eventually, COVID became a pandemic that has spread around the world. And as of June this year, there have been over 7 million cases and over 500,000 deaths in 188 countries. The COVID pandemic also has resulted in a widespread racist and xenophobic rhetoric, such as Chinese virus, Wuhan virus, or Kung flu, along with misinformation, disinformation, and conspiracy theories spread through various media outlets. And causing a lot of suspicion, hostility, hate, and even violence among anyone perceived to be Chinese or more generally Asian or Pacific Islander Asian American. And there have been already thousands of incidents and claims of verbal anti-harassment, bullying, and Asian businesses being attacked, businessmen being attacked, and even physically assaulted. The traditional vehicles for providing access to minority students have widely focused on traditional institutions of HBCUs and HAKUs, and limited efforts have been made to entice the Asian American groups, despite the existence of ANAPESIs. Perhaps it is the lack of the understanding of the model minority myth or lack of understanding of the social economics of the API communities. However, if we talk about having a diverse and inclusive workforce for the future, we need to make sure all groups are included. The lower numbers of minority groups in the pipeline and at the very top in social SES positions are telling when looking at the MD 715 figures in 2019, including in USDA. To increase the number of the silent minority, organizations have taken on the traditional role that government overlooks. Private nonprofit groups have replaced traditional avenues to enable APIs to gain experience in private sector. Groups like AGEN and CAPAL have taken on the role to provide leadership opportunities and summer internships for APIs. CAPAL was founded in 1989 to address the visibly low numbers of APIs serving in the public sector. Its mission is to provide Asian Americans interests and success in public service careers, to provide information and education on policy issues affecting the API community, and to serve the API community at large. The Forest Service has been a partner with CAPAL since 2008 and have produced 86 summer interns placements from starting at that time through 2018. The Forest Service has benefited from these students serving in deputy positions, deputy areas, and civil rights, communications, law enforcement, etc., and in national forests and Job Corps in different ranger districts. In summary, ever since the first Asians arrived in America, there have been anti-Asian racism. This includes prejudice and acts of discrimination for more than 200 years. Asian Americans have been denied equal rights, subjected to harassment and hostility, had their rights revoked and imprisoned for no justifiable reason, and physically attacked and murdered. In closing, I applaud the department for choosing to make the history of people of color available, to bringing us together to address some of the structural factors that have impacted the lagging employment figures and glass and bamboo ceilings. It is, as Pablo Freire says, looking at the past must only be a means of understanding more clearly what and who they are, so that they can be more wisely built for the future. Let us all come together to listen to one another, to learn our stories, and to learn that we're more similar than not, and to find ways to create an inclusive and equal system. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Isabel Garcia, and I'm a Pathway Student Engineer intern working with the Natural Resource Conservation Service in Fresno, California. I was born and raised in Arvin, California, a small town east of Bakersfield in the Central Valley. Arvin is known for its large surrounding farmland, and its economy is primarily agricultural based. Growing up, both of my parents worked doing farm work to provide for my sisters and me. I remember them constantly reminding us to try our best and just do good in school so that we wouldn't end up doing laborious work like them. Both the revise and the exhaustion I seen in their faces when they would come home from work motivated me to pursue a higher education. And that is why I'm in the position that I am right now. I am currently a semester away from receiving my Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering at CSU Fresno. In December, when I receive my diploma, I will be the first in my family to graduate from a four-year university. When I made the decision to study civil engineering, I had no clue of the career opportunities that I would find in the agriculture field. It wasn't until I went into an information session hosted by USDA liaison Juan Alvarez at Fresno State that I found out about our university's partnership with the USDA and the great opportunities that it provides for underrepresented students like myself. This information session was my first introduction to NRCS. Juan Alvarez, along with other NRCS representatives, were recruiting students for a 10-week internship program with the NRCS. I was interested, so I applied. In summer 2018, I was selected for the program and was sent to Nevada to start my internship. Once in Nevada, I learned about the Pathways program that the NRCS offers. So when I came back, I made it my goal to apply for this Pathways program as soon as it became available. The opportunity to intern with the NRCS has allowed me to work on many special projects in the agriculture field. These projects not benefit our water quality and air quality. I've worked on digester for dairies to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases generated by livestock. These type of projects not only benefit our air quality but water quality as well, since we do install sand settling lanes to separate solid waste from water, concrete stacking slabs to prevent leaching of nutrients into our groundwater, and synthetic liners to line ponds to reduce the excess loss of water. Through my internship with the NRCS, I've also had an opportunity to work on projects that help teach farmers how to utilize their water. Most of these farmers are applying too much water to their irrigation systems, or their crops are not getting enough water, so we do uniformity analysis to help them preserve this water and in the long run prevent the overdraft of groundwater. My goal in agriculture is to become a field engineer so that I could inspire young Hispanic girls in my community who have grown up watching their parents leave at the crack of dawn to work every day and return exhausted from their agricultural jobs. I want these young girls to know that there's a place for them in the agriculture field if they do choose to follow in their parents' footsteps that does not require them to do laborious work. I am working towards my goal of becoming a field engineer by tailoring my class courses to be more ag-related, as well as taking advantage of the long list of engineer-related courses on AgLearn. I would like to thank the USDA Hispanic Serving Institution Education Grants Program for funding my first internship with the USDA. The exposure and experience I was able to obtain from this first internship made it possible for me to be in the position that I am right now. So thank you, HSI, and goodbye.
I am Takandris Jordan, a soil conservation technician with NRCS in Buena Vista, Georgia. I am currently enrolled at Fort Valley State University, where I am a senior agriculture education major hailing from Dawson, Georgia. I applied to Fort Valley State University because I wanted to follow in the footsteps of my high school and now university mentor, Miss Phoenicia Mays. Ms. Mays introduced me to agriculture, and since then has not only encouraged but inspired me to contribute more. I learned about this scholarship opportunity through personal research and our campus USDA liaison, Ms. Carla Hollis. I wasn't sure if I should apply, being that my major wasn't listed for potential applicants, but Ms. Hollis encouraged me to go ahead and apply, and I am so happy that I did. I am also very grateful for the many opportunities that I have been granted since being awarded this scholarship. A special project that I am currently working on right now is an Instagram social media page entitled Agridemics 101, where I am planting seeds of knowledge by providing information that I have acquired in my agriculture classes, personal research, and currently in my internship to people of all ages that want to learn more about agriculture with the convenience of not having to part from social media. The steps that I am taking to accomplish my goals in agriculture include taking action, developing plans, doing hands-on work in communities, and most importantly, educating as many people as possible on agriculture and the opportunities it has to offer.
Hello, my name is Cameron Cowell, and I'm currently an intern for FAS USDA in the International Food Assistance Division, and I'm an upcoming senior and agribusiness major hailing from the small but great town of Tylertown, Mississippi. The school I'm currently attending is Alcorn State University. When searching for my school of interest, I was looking for something diverse, relatable, and overall just a setting that felt like home. At an 1890 institution, especially Alcorn State University, I could find people who came from relatable backgrounds and people who have similar cultural experiences to me. At Alcorn State University, there was an atmosphere of community and collaboration among the student body and the professors and faculty. Applying was not only an honor, but also a thank you to my previous ancestors who created these institutions with the goal of increasing African Americans' access to college education. During my first year at Alcorn, me and my family had to come out of pocket. So after my first year, my goal was to get a scholarship and make this road a little easier. So the original scholarship that I applied for through the school was taken out of the system the same year that I tried to apply for it, and only allowed students who currently had the scholarship to keep it. So I couldn't count on this scholarship. After I discovered the original scholarship I was going to apply for was no longer available, I went to Google for answers, and the 1890 scholarship program was right there. It was an opportunity to not only pay for school, but an opportunity to gain experience and knowledge in my chosen field. So I jumped at the chance to apply. And when I was notified that I would be awarded the scholarship, I was elated. So from that point on, my goal has been to soak up and build as much as possible to prepare for my future in agriculture. So I applied, was awarded, and then came the internship. I was placed in FAS, and that was an unbelievable experience in itself. Dealing with FAS, I noticed the diversity there also.
My name is Komal Kamdar, and I am currently a project analysis intern for the Natural Resources Conservation Service, or NRCS, Wisconsin. And I'm currently based out of Charlottesville, Virginia. I was born and raised in Virginia Beach, Virginia, yet my family is originally from India. I'm a rising senior at the University of Virginia, double majoring in leadership and public policy and Spanish. I actually learned about this opportunity and was placed with NRCS Wisconsin through the Conference on Asian Pacific American Leadership, an organization that seeks to empower Asian American youth by increasing their access to public service opportunities. I have a deep interest in environmental policy and conservation work, so I'm very excited to be working with NRCS this summer. For my first 2 weeks, I assisted NRCS's Partnerships Division, where I primarily helped coordinate up to 5-year agreements between NRCS and other groups, from nonprofits to county governments. There's submit different proposals, and I helped draft these agreements with goals dealing with wetland conservation, to pollinator habitat protection, to assisting women landowners. I also am working on an audit of all of NRCS's extensive partner organizations. Currently, I'm assisting the Public Affairs Division. I've been translating fact sheets and brochures into Spanish, updating congressional contact spreadsheets, and assisting in social media maintenance for NRCS Wisconsin's Twitter. I will later be working with the Civil Rights Division, specifically with the Asian Pacific American Special Emphasis Manager, on civil rights-related projects. Although the internship unfortunately is structured remotely this summer, I have been taking many steps to accomplish my goals when working for NRCS. When considering a virtual internship, I think one of the main things I prioritize is consistent communication through daily meetings with my supervisors and other interns. Another major step I've been taking is asserting strict time management through keeping a very organized calendar to keep track of my meetings, trainings, speaker series, and other events, and also help maintain a healthy work-life balance.
Hi everyone, my name is Garen Pereira. I was born and raised in Oahu, Hawaii. Currently, I'm at the University of Hawaii pursuing my graduate degree in food science. So I am of Okinawan descent. My great-grandparents moved from Okinawa to Hawaii to start raising their family, and also within that process they created a small family business selling salmon, which is actually a known staple food in Hawaii. As for my educational background, I got a bachelor's degree in food science and human nutrition along with a minor in music. I'm currently pursuing a master's degree. I'm a second-year graduate student and the first within my family to be getting a graduate degree. So I first heard about this internship with Kapal from one of my professors, And after researching the organization, I really liked their intentions of promoting Asian Americans within the public sector. And after working with them thus far this summer, there has been endless kindness, inclusiveness, and the education that they're offering to us interns is by far exceeding my expectations. As for my goals currently, my short term goal right now is just to stay on track and graduate with my master's degree. My long-term goal, although it's broad, is to be an impactful leader in some shape or form in the agriculture field. One of the stepping stones that I'm taking to accomplish this is through this internship program, learning from people who are leaders currently, seeing how they perform and what they do to accomplish goals. Another stepping stone that I find tremendously fulfilling is being a mentor. Just giving advice to undergraduates and how to proceed about things, teaching them how to do research, and also teaching students from elementary to high school STEM topics to help promote science within our community, as well as being a mentee, just having someone there to guide you and be knowledgeable in the studies that I want to pursue has helped me tremendously along the way.
Hi everyone, my name is Americo Vega. I am a marketing specialist with the Agricultural Marketing Service in Washington, D.C. I work for the Marketing Services Division under the Transportation and Marketing Program, and part of what we do is local food research. We help the development of direct marketing channels like farmers markets and others. And what I like the most about my job is that the research doesn't always stay on paper or just research. We actually apply it. We do community development. We work with different communities around the country to help them bring economic development to their areas. So I first started with USDA in the summer of 2015. I was doing research with the University of Puerto Rico, Mayagüez, through a Hispanic Serving Institution educational grant. They were paying us to do research, and this grant, of course, covered the research expenses, but they also paid students a stipend to do research. And for undergraduate students, that actually made big difference. But part of the program, we also had the opportunity to come to USDA and do an internship. So in 2015, I did a summer internship with AMS, and I loved it. I fell in love with public service, and I wanted to come back. So I basically treated every day as a job interview, and I did my best, and I definitely wanted to stay here and do the work. When that internship ended, I went back to Puerto Rico. I started to do my master's in analytical chemistry, and then the program opened up some position, and they gave me a call to say, if you're still interested in working for us, you can apply. And I did, and I got the job. And I've been with USDA since, as an official employee, since February 2016. And if I could give a piece of advice to people who are thinking about pursuing a career in agriculture or applying to public service, I would say to find something that you really like, but also to find a place where you can make a difference. I say this because I started doing a major in biotechnology, and I did a master's in analytical chemistry. And while I am grateful for all the knowledge that I gained, and all the experiences and everything, I think working for USDA, I found things that I'm more passionate about. Definitely working with different communities, helping them bring economic development, is definitely something that makes my work much more meaningful. So anyway, I'd like to thank the Hispanic Serving Institution grant for the opportunity. It definitely played a very big role in the development of my career. I wouldn't be here in USDA if it wasn't for this grant. And I definitely encourage everyone to seek out these programs and apply and take advantage of them. And thank you everyone for watching.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rociel Grajales Cortez, but everybody calls me Rosie. I'm currently working as a soil conservationist for the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service, known as NRCS at Greenville, North Carolina. I'm also the Disability Program Emphasis Manager and the Vice Chair for our State Civil Rights Advisory Committee. I was born and raised in a small island known as Puerto Rico. I graduated from the University of Puerto Rico at Mayagüez, where I was part of this special project called the Center for Education and Training in Agricultural and Related Sciences, CETARS. Thanks to the special project, I was able to teach little kids from elementary schools the importance of agriculture throughout different agriculture lectures, and I helped them build their own school home garden. They were also able to experience our agriculture fair known as the Agri Tour, where they were able to see our home garden and participated in different agriculture stations where we had different other agriculture workshops for them. What steps have I taken towards pursuing my career? Well, first of all, I'm very thankful with CTARS because thanks to them, I was able to learn about internships since my freshman year, and I took as many internships as I could every summer during college. I also took advice from my professors and set goals and took courses that I knew that they were going to help me with the position that I'm currently working on. What agricultural impact am I having on society right now? Well, thanks to NRCS, I have been able to provide customer services, technical assistance, and help our farmers to improve their lands and help the environment um, that once had resource concerns related to soils, water, air, plants, and animals. Um, what was one of my most favorite experiences? Well, I have several, but this include being able to help our farmers. They work so hard to provide food to our tables that I'm very thankful that I'm able to go out in the field, talk to them face to face, and being able to experience their faces of gratitude and satisfaction once a project has been done. What am I passionate about? Well, I love what I do. I'm always eager to learn. I love to learn everything that could help me help our farmers. And I also love to pass this knowledge to others. So, as for now, I'm going to learn as much as I can so I can become a mentor for future interns. My advice for interns and employees: take advantage of all these internships. Learn as much as you can. This opens so many doors. Take advice from your supervisors, take advice from your mentors, take advice from your professors. Set goals. And hey, if you know a farmer, spend some time with them, work with them. There's so much you can learn from that. How do I like to spend my spare time? Well, I have several hobbies, but first than anything, I love to video chat with my family. I like to be the big sister. I like to spend quality time with them every time that I have the chance to go back home. I love to read. I like movies. I like music. And I really love to cook Puerto Rican food.
Hi, my name is Lazaro Sandoval. I work for the USDA's Foreign Agricultural Service as the Senior Agricultural Attaché at the U.S. Consulate General here in Mumbai, India. Both of my parents are from Jalisco, Mexico. I've worked for the USDA since I've been 19 years old in some way or in some capacity, and it was thanks to the wonderful initiatives like HSI and also the Haku internships that have led me to this fantastic career experience. In terms of the impact that I'm having on agriculture today, I'm proud and honored to be able to represent the interests of U.S. farmers and ranchers around the world, specifically by expanding markets for U.S. food and agricultural products, and by also enhancing global food security. I would have to say that there are two highlights that I would like to mention today. During my previous assignment in Argentina, I was part of the team that helped secure market access for U.S. beef and pork after more than 20 years of negotiations. This was a truly historic achievement, and it was quite a delight and treat to actually receive the kudos from President Trump during his visit to Buenos Aires.
Earlier this year, the Embassy's Foreign Agricultural Service helped secure historic new market access for U.S. pork and beef in Argentina, opening significant new export opportunities for American farmers and ranchers, and I know they have great beef here too. I was talking to the president, and they do have great beef, but we do, and now they're sending it and we're sending it. It's actually a very big business. Here with us today are a number of people who did terrific work on the deal, including agricultural counselor Melinda Medor. Where is Melinda? Where are you? Thank you. Agricultural officer Lazaro Sandoval.
Never could I imagine that my work would have been so historic and would have received that type of praise from our own president. I've also been in India now for about a year, and it's been a pleasure and a privilege to travel around the country to talk to agricultural officials and to talk to farmers and to talk about potential areas of collaboration, to talk about their plight. And it has really demonstrated to me that the USDA motto of "do right and feed everyone" really applies to all farmers around the world. We all want to accomplish the same thing, and it's been a pleasure to be able to work with them to see where we could potentially assist them in enhancing global food security. In addition to my career, I'm passionate about mentorship. Frankly, the success I've achieved could not have been possible without the help of mentors who provided critical assistance and guidance throughout my career, and who continue to provide me with assistance. I feel that without them, I could not be where I am today, and that's why I try to give back wherever I can and provide any career guidance, assistance to any upcoming professionals that seek it. In terms of advice that I would give to any potential employees or interns who are looking to advance their career in agriculture, I think I have 4 pieces of advice. One, stay informed. It's absolutely important to stay informed, whether at your workplace or in the world. You'll find that everything around you influences your work, so always stay informed. 2, when you commit to something, make sure that you follow through. You want to be able to develop trust with your coworkers and also with stakeholders. Number 3, don't be afraid to ask for help and seek out mentors. People are more than happy to assist you, and really seek out mentors that will be able to guide you throughout your career. And then 4, mistakes will happen. I commit mistakes all the time, but what's important is to learn from them and to press forward and to never let them get you down. And with this, I'd like to say that I'd highly recommend a career in agriculture. I've been involved with the USDA now for about a third of my life, and it's been extremely rewarding. It reminds me of sort of the advice one of my colleagues gave me before my first assignment in Argentina, and he told me that in our career, you'll never be bored, and that all is possible. And that's definitely true. And I would just like to add that you will also be a part of history. I found that with a career in agriculture, you will be able to be witness to very historic achievements. As I mentioned, what we did in Argentina, what I'm doing now in India. So I think it's a worthwhile career track to definitely look into and to seek. In terms of what I like to do in my spare time, I love to travel, I love to read, I love to listen to music, and I think more critically now, I like to also spend time with family. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Aaron Morris, and I serve as the director of our guaranteed lending programs here at the Rural Business Cooperative Service. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, where I attended the Chicago High School for Agricultural Sciences. So I've pretty much been around agriculture my entire life. This is what I know. From there, I attended Tennessee State University in Nashville, Tennessee. TSU is a historically Black college that had a profound impact on my life and my career going forward here at the department. I've been with USDA Rural Development going on 17 years now. All of it's been spent here at Rural Development, really delivering on a wonderful and impactful mission that we have here. Our impact, my impact, delivering capital to rural America, is one that I don't take for granted. And over the years, I've really gotten to understand and know how important this is, the work that we do, going to so many different rural communities and meeting families and community leaders and really seeing the impact that we are having, the ability to build a community literally from the ground up. And so I've enjoyed pretty much every minute of my time spent here. It's been an eye-opening experience for me, especially someone, from Chicago, as I said, just a different perspective for me, but also just knowing that how important it is for us to do what we do. And that also, it really drives my passions to help shape that next generation of leaders, especially those in the urban setting who may not view agriculture as a viable career path for them. I was lucky enough to have attended, the high school that I did, the Chicago High School for Ag Sciences, but helping young people understand that ag is pretty cool, that there are so many career opportunities in agriculture, both here at the department as well as in the private sector. It's something that I want to impress upon young people, and I try to do that at every turn. If I could give any advice to young people as they start here at the department, whether it's in an internship or a new position, is that you should just be flexible, be open to learning new things, and it'll take you pretty far. That was guidance that was given to me many years ago, and it's helped me out quite a bit along the way. So take care.
Hi, I am Charles Alexander Russell II. I am an equal opportunity specialist, and I work for the Farm Production and Conservation Office of Civil Rights, which pretty much handles the civil rights for the Farm Service Agency, Natural Resources and Conservation Service, and Risk Management Agency. And I'm in Washington, D.C., nation's capital. I need to stop saying I have some questions that I'm supposed to answer, and I'm trying to look at myself but not look at the video, so let me go to the questions. I know that the editor will edit this. Okay. Well, you've already got my name. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, South Side. I'm a fan of the White Sox, Chicago Bears, the Chicago Bulls, never the Chicago Cubs, and the Chicago Blackhawks. My current position is equal opportunity specialist. I believe I've already said that. I'm in the compliance and program analysis branch. Actually, am I in that? Oh, no. That was my old branch. I am in the program processing and resolution branch, which is PPRB. I hope that's edited correctly because I am not in CPAB anymore. I'm in that branch. That location is split because of the way FPAC is between the DC location in Patriot Plaza 3 and the Beltsville location, GWCC. I've been with my agency, the Farm Service Agency, although I'm not a part of them anymore. That's how long I've been with them. Since 99, November of 99. So then November of 19 would have made it 20 years. So I have 21 years of government service with the USDA as a whole this November. And that would have been probably about a split of 16 or 17 years with FSA. Then when FPAC started FPAC started 2-3 years ago. Well, whenever FPAC started, that's the amount of time I have with FPAC, and the rest was with FSA, but 21 years total in November. If you see my eyes going to the left, I'm looking at the questions again. The steps that I've taken towards pursuing my career as an 1890 scholar, college internship, well, I got the 1890 scholarship when I was about 17 years old in Chicago, and I chose the best HBCU known to man, Florida A&M University, Rattlers all day, every day. I don't know what school you went to, but this is all about the Rattlers. So FAMU, after when I was actually there, I interned with the 1890 scholarship. As most know, you get to choose your place of internship. I interned in Washington, D.C. in the national office with the DAFLP, that is Deputy Administrator for Farm Loan Programs area. These people may be here still or have left, but I mean, this was back when Carolyn Cooksey was the Deputy Administrator, Jim Redence was the Loan Making Division Chief, Bob Bonet was Guaranteed Loan Branch Chief, and Mike Hinton was the Direct Loan Branch Chief. And I interned under Mike, who placed me with Jonathan Howard, still great guy to this day. One of the best guys ever, showed me around, showed me the ropes in DC as an intern for those 3 years under the direct loan making branch. But then when I came to work full time, I came to work under Bob O'Neill in the guaranteed loan making branch. And I won't bore you with the difference between guaranteed loans and direct loans for farmers, but I'm sure that a lot of you that are in USDA already know the difference. What agricultural impact are you having on society now? Citizens, farmers, ranchers, etc. And my most favorite experience. Well, the direct agricultural impact I'm having on farmers and ranchers now is I was formerly the head of the limited English proficiency, I guess you could say, area for the whole entire agency of FSA. I wrote FSA's LEP plan before we merged, with FSA, NRCS, and RMA into FPAC. I was the head of the whole LEP plan and the whole LEP section for FSA. So I developed the training, administered the training, worked with contractors to get a telephonic interpretation line for 800 toll-free access for LEP individuals to translate 24 hours a day if they go into any FSA office. This was previously at the time. That was probably my favorite experience because it was all on me. I'm the only one that did it. I was the only one that was working on it. They trusted me to do it, and I'm still employed, so I must not have done that bad of a job. So that was great because I was able to, for the first time in my career, work with an outside entity that provided us with the language assistance and the translation of documents and the telephonic interpretation, and hosting a national training was very, 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 very daunting. But like I said, my supervisors at the time trusted me, and I think they actually just didn't want to have to be worried with the details, and they just pretty much said, hey, get it done and do it. And I mean, I set that whole thing up, and it's still there to this day. It's just under FPAC now, and new vendor, new things like that. But that was one of my best experiences because, once again, it was just me. It fell on my head. I love challenges, so I took that challenge, and like I said, I'm still employed, so I must have done a good job. Oh, and I also won the FSA's Administrator Award. There was that. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to downplay that, but that was good. That was a good thing too. In addition to my current career status, civil rights, human resources, engineering, what am I passionate about? Mentoring, entrepreneurship, etc. I am passionate about Black Lives Matter. I am Black, as you can see. I don't know if it's not making a joke or anything like that. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but just to bring levity to the situation, I think we all know what's going on currently in America. And I just love that we are putting our feet forward in more progress, in getting better as a nation, getting better as a people, and just getting better as a society. I work directly in civil rights, like I said, with LEP, but I also work with program complaints against the agencies. So I've read and looked at complaints based on discrimination for all of the bases, whether they be color, race, familial status, income derived by public assistance. I won't go down all of them, but all of the protected classes, I've looked at them and I've seen them, and we still have a long way to go. And I'm happy to see the positivity that we have pushed forward as a people, and in particularly, once again, as a Black man in America that went to an HBCU, historically Black college and or university, for those that didn't know, Florida A&M University, and from a what has been known in the past, maybe still in the present, a chocolate city, Chicago. If you need to know what a chocolate city is, you can look it up. And what advice would I give to potential employees, interns, to advance their career in agriculture? The advice that I would give is to do what you love. Find your niche and do what you love. Agriculture is vast, 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 vast. And if you are like me, a kid from the south side of Chicago that knows nothing about agriculture, that knows nothing about planting and livestock or anything like that, but you find that you have a love for civil rights, or you have a love for numbers, or you have a love for computer science, whatever you find that you love, there's a way to use agriculture to help get your love out there and to help agriculture along. Food and fiber, extremely important to the American society. As we all know, agriculture it's the base, it's the beginning, it's what you eat, it's what you drink, it's everything. And so my advice would be find what you love, and don't be afraid to find something else that you love. What you love. I will be 40 this Friday, June 26th. I don't know when this is airing, so when this airs, I'm probably already 40. But what I loved at 19 is different than what I loved at 21 and 24 and 28 and 35. And life is long, so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. That, you know what? Go back to it. That would be my main advice. No fear. No fear at all. Fear is manufactured. Fear is a construct of your mind. Do not fear trying anything, working hard, asking for that project, asking to do something else, giving your opinion on new and innovative ways to make your agency, to make the department, to make your branch better. Just give it your all, but no matter what, no fear. Work hard, know yourself, know your worth. A lot of you probably know where that came from, but that's important as well. No fear, know yourself, know your worth, and just give it your all. Life is a journey to be enjoyed and to be lived. So I hope that this was informative to you all out there, and to those that care. Chicago Bears, Chicago Bulls, Chicago Blackhawks, Chicago White Sox all day. And as always, Black Lives Matter, and will always. Thanks for your time.
Good morning. My name is Gail Mason, Enforcement Branch Supervisor with the Packers and Stockyards Division of the Fair Trade Practices Program of AMS. I'm also the Special Emphasis Program Manager for the African American Employment as Collateral Duties for the AMS Office of Civil Rights. I have the honor today to introduce to you our guest speaker, Mr. Michael Jones. Mr. Jones is the Chief Executive Officer for the Fresh Commodities Holding Corporation, an urban agriculture food company based in Washington, D.C. since June 2016. The mission of the Fresh Commodities Holding Corporation is to end food insecurity worldwide through an innovative ecosystem of education, distribution, marketing, innovative technology in order to reduce food cost and increase food access. As the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Jones is responsible for job creation, new industry training, food preparation through the efficient urban agricultural systems, and distribution network through farmers market, grocery stores, restaurants, community partnerships, and other entrepreneur pathways. His range of responsibilities include developing integrated public education strategies, establishing urban food hubs across various urban neighborhoods that identified as food deserts. Through the Fresh Commodities Holding Corporation, Mr. Jones has developed a high-efficiency food preparation sites that utilize bio-intensive aquaponics, hydroponics production methods in urban communities, coupled with the education and food programming to offer new options for families to gain access to healthy foods and learn more about healthy living through community engagement. Mr. Jones also serves as the Chief Executive Officer for the Farmers Market on Wheels since December 2015. Farmers Market on Wheels is a Washington, D.C. based distribution corporation that distributes water, farm fresh, hydroponics, and aquaponics, organic vegetables, fruit, and fresh products that is part of a cooperative partnership between Anacostia Economic Development Corporation and the University of District of Columbia College of Urban Sustainability and Environmental Sciences. Mr. Jones went to high school at Crossland High and earned and received a diploma in math and science. He holds a bachelor's degree from Frostburg State University in Business Administration Marketing, and he earned his master's of business education. He earned a master's in business administration from Strayer University in digital entrepreneurship. I present to you Mr. Michael Jones.
Thank you, everyone, for providing me this opportunity of sharing with you the work that we have done and begin to do in starting in the DMV area. I remember as we began to really look in the next thing that we want to look to accomplish and be mentored in the village that raised me was very instrumental and challenged me to really begin to look at community issues, community problems that plague our community and do something about them and creating or be a part of the solution. So I remember Miss H, Kathy Hughes, her and I were having a conversation about what's next. And I was looking at the area in the Washington metropolitan area and realized and really look at food insecurities and the access of or the lack of access for nutritional meals or fresh fruits and vegetables many times in urban communities or places in Black communities in the metropolitan area in which didn't have access to quality fresh foods or things like that. And so it was then my plight to make it happen and look at things and say, okay, this is what I want to do and what we're going to accomplish. So that began the whole era of let's get started. So the first idea was, okay, we're going to outfit some trucks, some ice cream trucks, and make them vegetable trucks, as they used to do back many decades ago in Baltimore. And used to bring the carts in, or the horse carts drawn and with the vegetables on that. So, but as an entrepreneur looking at the business model behind that, it's not really economically sound. I do understand the principle of social entrepreneur, but being in the village that raised me again, actually trained me to be revenue minded. So, and to say the least. So therefore, we had to really think through, because traditional growth or agriculture, usually after November or the first, I believe the first frostbite or anything or chill stuff, you can't grow, during the winter. Use traditional. So I needed something that would have provided more of a long ability to grow 365 days more preferably. So during that time, doing the research, we came across STEM agriculture. And when you start to look at comparing it to micro manufacturing or creating a commercial facility for manufacturing using STEM agriculture in the form of aquaponics and hydroponics. And so in understanding marketing and distribution, getting into the urban community in many ways, that being my background, that being what I was actually taught to do, bringing brands or developing brands or business from conception to collection. So at that point, I knew it was needed to happen, it would happen. So let's get started. So we created, and the biggest, how we do it, and again, I was brought up, mentor that proving concepts is far more than sharing ideas. It's actually getting and making it, putting your own resources behind it, making it happen. And the biggest question that we had during the whole development was, I understand that it's a good idea with the STEM agriculture and commercial facility, but with the ability of growing 190,000 pounds plus annually, so what are you going to do with this produce? So instead of saying, this is the methods and how it's going to, we showed them. Yeah. So over the course of the 8 years of operations, we created, under Fresh Communities Holding Corporation, we created Farmers Market on Wheels, First Harvest Club, and of course, FHC Wholesale. So at Fresh Communities Holding Corporation, our mission is to work to end food insecurity and improve food access through our integrative system of education, distribution, marketing, and innovative technology to reduce food costs and increase food access, all while providing new avenues of economic development in the formation of jobs, entrepreneurship, allowing a dollar to keep circulation, because among Black communities, it's unfortunate that a dollar do not circulate comparably to other ethnic groups. So one of the key factors for our economic development is to increase that dollar circulation within that community. We also believe the improvement of food security will stem from diverse food systems that will include urban communities as local manufacturing zones, which will include food production and manufacturing, processing and preparation, distribution, outreach, marketing, job creation, and franchise creation. So those are some of the key elements in which our Fresh Community Holdings Corporation is operating. We created a very integrated system developing these zones in urban cities that that is focused on reducing environmental footprint by the better use of solar, alternative energy, water management, and waste reduction. These enterprise zones consist of course, the STEM agricultural technology, aquaponics, hydroponics, food production and manufacturing, food processing, so taking it from its raw goods into processing with chefs and culinary professionals, marketing and distribution, both traditional and non-traditional programming, whereas we can have fresh bagged products on corner stores that you would never or have start to emerge, including your liquor stores. Workforce development, job creation, including returning citizens with entrepreneurial through vendors and franchising opportunities, and of course, continuous technology training from urban farming all the way through business ownership. And it works good for us because as manufacturing, opening up our distribution channels and supply channels, it only serves, in the food desert community, it only serves a win-win for everyone. Our Farmers Market on Wheels brand integrates education and mobile food program. offering traditional and non-traditional mobile food retail options, appealing to urban communities trapped in food deserts. We utilize a non-traditional distribution network and strategy and merge public education with serving today's latest food trends with the best chefs in the DMV metropolitan area. Through farmers market, corner stores, community social outlets, and mobile food unit distribution, through local community social and economic partnership, we create great access or better access for those communities in food deserts to have access to a healthier option of food selection from fresh leafy foods to chef prepared meals. We take the farm to them. Some of our milestones with Farmers Market and Wheels. In 2015, we launched the East Capitol Street Farmers Market when just a mile and a half, the only Safeway in the area had closed down. So it created a major food desert, especially for some senior community residents in the area. So in 2015, we launched and established the East Capitol Street Farmers Market. 2016, 2017, in addition to the East Capitol Street, we had several pop-up. We started to create pop-up farmers markets in Prince George's County, Maryland. In 2018, we acquired our first mobile truck vegetable deli, in which we super served many of the senior citizens' homes and many of the hard to reach areas that normally do not have access to fresh quality produce. In 2018, we also began mobile retail at places like Strayer University, Kaiser Permanente, and Gateway Center community. In these areas, especially in lunchtime, there are food deserts, nothing really in that area. So we begin to really focus on those things. And First Harvest Club was established, and mostly we begin to look at, in some neighborhoods where full service stores are absent, shoppers may rely on a small corner or convenience store, which do not offer sufficient health food products and may charge higher prices for the limited nutritionist foods available. What we did, the First Harvest Club, is a community-supported agricultural membership plan kind of business model where we provide members access to fresh vegetables and chef-prepared meals, the best healthy alternative right in the comfort of their own home. And actually, we partner with and have partnered with churches and recreation centers where the boxes will be distributed or our boxes could be distributed right from their location, whereas we provide a payment stipend to the location as means of fundraising for them in being in partnership of our distribution line. Overseeing the First Harvest Club is our in-house kitchen of chefs, of culinary experts, nutritional dietitians, and things like that, who are preparing the meals under the auspice of the African Heritage diet pyramid, utilizing that pyramid to create healthier recipes and nutritions and things like that in order for us to fight the problems that many of our community in hypertension, diabetes, and things, and most of that we can track back what is based on their diets that they eat daily. So with our chefs and with our kitchens under the First Harvest Club, we try to prepare those meals according to, of course, our taste buds, but prepare them utilizing fresh leafy, fresh protein, fresh herbs and spices that can counter and work in the business of eating to live. So that's First Harvest Club. So all of the distribution side works in tandem to reach those hard to reach people, easy to reach people, but to make sure that the access of fresh, prepared, and healthy meals in food deserts are growing in addition to economic development. So as you can see, we've been working very hard these last couple of 8 years.
What you working on?
Well, I'm sitting here actually putting a video together for the USDA. And
You say hi?
yeah.
Hi.
Hi everyone, my name is Kristen.
My name is Landon.
And we are here to support Michael and Daddy as he is going through this journey. We are so, whoops, you're hitting Mommy. We are so excited that we will be able to help and feed local communities. This is very important to us. And as you can see, London is giving it the thumbs up. So we would welcome any support that we can get. And thank you so much for taking the time out to listen to us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So, no, shoot, go away. No, they actually are my biggest supporters, and I really appreciate all that they have done, and to my family, and to you, I truly ask. It's been a journey. We call this the Noah Project, because when Noah, in the biblical times, when Noah was telling everyone it was going to rain, no one believed him. No one thought. He said, get in this ship, let's build this big ship. This ship is going to be a big solution for the rain. And therefore, I believe, and we pin this, our Noah Project, because yes, it's a big vision. And we've been working towards it. We need the help of all the community stakeholders. We need the help of you, and all that we can do from, again, conception to collection. You know, when we think about it, let's take it all the way through the pipeline until we collect the dividends that is our efforts will reap when we put it in. So from our food enterprise zone, we have built an ecosystem of empowerment, basically, in delivering fresh produce and fresh foods, working with the college, UDC, had the opportunity to work in their orchids, or really control and create jobs by us managing their orchid, in which we can grow a large variety of different fruits. Because, of course, fruits and vegetables are definitely our target and initiative for these communities that are living in food deserts. But we have coming up, we are in conversations with 3 cities and 3 counties in Prince George's County that are bona fide food deserts, in which we are planning on building the actual commercial facilities, aquaponic commercial facilities. We're hoping and praying that within the next 90 days we can have our first actual commercial facility in which we are providing jobs with. Each facility, each one we build, we have plans to build at least 4 food enterprise zones within Washington metropolitan and Prince George's counties, those places where food deserts are really hit the hardest in this area, looking at an urban community. So we do have aggressive plans. We have very smart team members that are with us, influential team members, and we are blessed to be able to organize ourselves and move in that way. So any help, and I gotta say, USDA, you guys have been awesome leading up, maybe not in grants, but in insight and information. And, I've talked to, over the years, many USDA employees, and of course, Mr. Muhammad and all. Just, you guys are very, very helpful, and I appreciate and applaud all the things that you do. And I ask for your support. I ask that anything that you see, any insight, any empirical knowledge, any grants, any money, any connections, anything you can do that will help us move this forward, we really appreciate it. Thank you, and I appreciate you. God bless. Talk to you later. Thanks again, Mr. Muhammad and Gail. Appreciate you.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is American Diversity Month. And thank you all so very much for joining and participating with us today as we looked at Hispanic, African American, and Asian contributions in agriculture. With that, I'm Ron Brown with the FPAC Business Center, Civil Rights Division, Program Processing and Resolution Branch. As we leave you today, we would like to ask you to consider taking the following action. And that is, go make great, awesome contributions in agriculture and in life in general, because the future continues to be bright.
We hope you enjoyed today's program, and please remember to stay safe out there. If you have any questions about today's program, please email Gail Mason.